the stock market, meaning companies' new highs.
I'm not fucking leaving.
The show goes on.
They're nuts. They know nothing.
An online network called Internet.
Well, it's very hip to be on the internet right now. Welcome, my degenerates. The rest of your life starts right now on Market Mania. The no bullshit approach to all financial markets, from Bitcoin and darknets to political betting. And of course, right here, the largest casino in the world, the US stock market. I'm your host, Brian Micon, financial genius, Bitcoin class of 2011, and a poker player. Joining me are my fellow degens, Matt Glantz and Brett Ritchie. Glantz is a former options specialist, and Brett is the head of Blitzpick. Coming to a blockchain near you this fall. The whole thing is put together by Tony, the producer, and this is Market Mania. Tony, let's get right to it. Crazy ass day in the markets today. What do you got for us, Matt Glantz, and your options fund?
We're down about 3.5% today. Not the best day. We came in long the airlines, and some of this COVID news from the NFL and New York City scared the market down. So we're a little bit buried today. I'm wondering what's going on with the Robinhood traders there, Brett.
It's not a great day for Robinhood traders as a whole. As you see, everything's red except the VIX, which is green. So the Robinhood crew love those long shot gambles. So there's probably some people out there that the volatility has played in their favor. So most people down. Some people are probably having a great day, though.
Well, that is going to be how it is. A little wishy-washy into debate night. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be what everybody's Facebook group is talking about. All the tweets are going to be tonight about the presidential debates.
But let's first get a macro minute from Tony.
Oh, Tony, hit us with the
guys?
Macro minute.
Hey, I've been meaning to use my button. It worked out great. Look, from up here in orbit, right above geosynchronous orbit above Wall Street, it doesn't look too good. I mean, you see open border clashes happening around the world. There's like a Tom Clancy novel playing out between Armenia and Azerbaijan right now, and I'm just looking into 2021. It's not looking good. In fact, my investment plan for 2021 is 4 things: Bitcoin, bullets, bullion, and butt wipe. And I've been stocking up, I don't know if you can see it, but been stocking up on that, and I hope you guys are ready to roll too, because 2021 is going to be crazy, and these debates are the end of the beginning for this chapter in America. All right, back to you.
Gotta love your producer that's locked and loaded every single show. All right, the debates. Joe Biden, Donald Trump. You got 2 creepy vampires that'll be on stage at the same time. Just fire. Half the people are going to hate one of them, and then half the people are going to hate the other, and then everyone's going to bet on it. Brett Ritchie, what the hell's going on here tonight? Pre-debate lines. What's the wagers look like?
So Biden got a slight bounce up, maybe from 10 cents or so. He's about $1.30 favorite right now. And I one thing I would like is a VIX on the election betting, because I think either way, it's not going to be here tomorrow. It's either going to be $1.50 or more for Biden, or Trump's going to totally even it up, I think, based on the performance of Biden, which there's a lot of questions about. Matt, how do you see Biden doing?
I mean, nobody knows how he's going to be doing. Everyone's worried about, his mental capacity. I'm sure they're going to fill him up with Adderall or some kind of new age drug to get his cognitive abilities better. So we'll see how it works tonight. But if he performs adequate, that's all he needs to do. He doesn't have to kill it. Trump has to kill it because Biden's ahead and everyone's not expecting much from Biden.
Yeah, the bar is super low for Biden. Interestingly enough, I don't know if you saw this, there's a minor scandal. Biden is refusing to be tested for secret earpieces. So Trump's accused him of taking drugs, doping, kind of PEDs. Now he's bringing the equivalent of a corked bat potentially to the debate, also with a secret earpiece.
So I wouldn't call that a minor scandal. It's just like nonsense by Trump. Basically, they engage and agree on rules for debate way ahead of time, and none of that was discussed. When you just bring up things the day before the debate and try to make it a scandal, it's not a real scandal. It's just Trump being Trump.
Just said, if you need, like, this guy's supposed to be president, the most stressful job on the planet, probably, or up there. He hasn't even gotten the job yet, and he's struggling to complete these basic things, like an interview.
Let's see how he does tonight.
This is I'm looking forward to bullshit. I mean, you got these vampires that they're going to argue, and then everybody's already made up their mind, and then there's going to be. But I will say this: the betting on this is fascinating. What's going to happen tonight, because it will rock the markets. And like you said, it's going to be a wait and see moment. Lock and load your Twitters, grab your Facebook, start arguing with your aunt that's on the other side that you are, and let's go. It's on tonight.
If you think you have an edge, this is a great trade to make, because you're gonna find out within a day. It's moving 20 cents one way or the other.
If you want to bet no Trump, basically, what do you think? Wait till tomorrow, or do you think fire now?
Well, no,
I think wait till tomorrow. If
you're betting on the debate. If you have an opinion on how the debate will unfold, you should bet now. If you just have an opinion on the overall election, you can wait.
All right. Moving along, the second round of the stimulus. And this is, for those of you that have been living under a rock, they fired out something like 1,200 to all the Americans a couple months ago. They said this will hold you over for a while. And then now it looks like they finally agreed. The two sides of the Banana Republic got together and decided to print up more money. Is that what it looks like here?
They haven't agreed yet. They're still fighting. And so the question is, the markets responded somewhat favorably, supposedly, initially to this, and then now it's kind of come back down. But they're arguing. The Democrats, each party wants certain rules or whatever in place, and with the election coming up, unless the sides think it's going to help their election chances, it's not going to get through. So it's just a maybe this thing will go through.
And what's this coming from, Matt? It's 2.2 trillion new dollars. Is this another money printer go brrr, as Tony
everything's just part of the money printer. But I would expect them to, well, at least Pelosi, push a deal through this week if Biden doesn't perform well tonight, because they're going to want to change the subject and get, some play for their Democratic supporters.
That's interesting. Yeah. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, money printer go brrr. That's all I was going to say.
Yeah. That's always worth saying and reminding people. Maybe back to Tony's point about Bitcoin, it seems like a pretty good time to bring that up. I think they're going to do whatever they think's in their political best interest. As Matt says, if Biden does poorly, okay, suddenly they're more eager to make a deal. I don't think either side really cares about the average person. They really just care about what's going to help them in November. And that's what we'll see with the stimulus. That's what if both sides think it's going to help them, then it'll get done.
Filthy politicians throwing a bone to the population. Kill your masters, ladies and gentlemen. Moving along to the NFL. COVID strikes again in professional sports. Everybody was happy. Everybody saw Chris Hansen the last couple of weeks. 7 hours of commercial-free football. The population was pacified. We were betting on something that wasn't the stock market for once. And then all of a sudden, COVID had to come and mess this all up. What even happened here? I didn't even catch the COVID, from.
So there was a news report today out of Tennessee that 8 members of the Tennessee Titans got COVID, 5 personnel and 3 players. So now 2 games are in question. They played the Vikings last week, so the Vikings game's in question this weekend. Also the Titans game, obviously. And that hit the market this morning. The market was pretty much unchanged. And then when this came out, the market got hit pretty good. And you can see DraftKings on the screen there. That was over 58 this morning, right before the news hit. And that one would get hit the most likely. So we'll see what happens. But it was that news, and there was some New York City news, 3% positivity rate. So it's not looking good in the COVID front right now.
Brett Ritchie. COVID in our beloved NFL. Everybody likes the NFL. Even if you don't like sports, you still watch a little football.
They've done a great job of keeping the lid on COVID so far. I think they probably just put the same people they have testing for PEDs in charge of testing for COVID. But either way, they didn't have a lot of positive tests. And it's still only a few guys. The next week's games aren't necessarily in jeopardy yet, but it's not a great sign, but it's still early. We'll see.
Well, that is unfortunate, but we will be watching closely to see if we can still bet on football for the rest of this year. All right, moving on to huge historic losses in the market, something we cover very deeply here on Market Mania. From 300, now this isn't just your usual fucking off of the funds. This was a hedge fund that was in charge of New York City, it looks like public transit pension funds. And it appears that earlier this year, during that COVID dump in February, March or so, it looks like they fired off 330 million. They turned 330 million into 9 million. All you Wall Street Bets, Robinhood kiddies out there, you're mad about your $2,900 loss. It feels like the weight of the world is on you right now. How are you going to tell your parents? Listen, you don't got shit to worry about compared to these people. What is it, a German hedge fund? Did either of you look into this? How does this even work? The city just gives 330 million to some randos and say, hey, do me a favor, run this up for the subway workers here. Don't try not to fuck it off. And then there's, oh, oops, 97% loss. I read through the article. They're selling put options and stuff. I don't really understand why pension funds would be invested like that. I mean, Glance, do you even see how they LOL'd it off here? Or?
Government run bureaucracy. What else is new? They don't do a good job. They don't hire the best people, and nobody knows what's going on. It's just typical American government.
Brett Ritchie, you worked in the subway for your whole life, and the guy just tells you they just fucked off 330 million of yours and everybody else's. What do you do?
I drive that subway car off the tracks into the wall. I don't know. I mean, it's insane. I guess everyone wants to be Yale or whatever, who like ran up their pension or their like endowment to a massive stratospheric level. It seems really irresponsible, right? You're the MTA pension fund. It should be very safe. The
scary thing is all they had to do was buy the index, buy the S&P, or buy
forget
the
about it. How
who
fucking
was
hard
watching
is this?
the people making this decision? Like, I just don't even understand how that
MTA pension funds. Okay, buy SPY. Forget about it forever. Whenever somebody cashes, you cash the fund. Done. You're done. You could do it from a fucking Robinhood account. Just put it on Robinhood.
Did they start like when they started losing? Did they gamble to try and get back to even and sort of bust that way?
The article is so convoluted, you'll need to take time to read it. But they're selling put options and shit. They're like, well, our risk mitigation facility decided to LOL and sell scary derivatives during a market crash. It's ridiculous. I don't even get it. Anyway, yeah, I think Glance is right. Government LOLing. Now it should be noted. Brett touched on it recently that the Norway sovereign wealth fund, over $1 trillion. They took all the oil money and they invested it wisely and never fucked it off. 250,000 for each man, woman, and child in Norway. So there's one example of it doing good. And Harvard and Yale and some of the other Ivies. Harvard has like 35 billion or something piled up there. Tuition still 100K.
But Yale has probably they've probably got some pretty smart people in charge over there overseeing that stuff.
All right. Moving along to more losses. This is a scam heavy show the last couple of ones. I mean, Market Mania isn't usually the scam heavy, but in the crypto world, especially with this new DeFi stuff coming hot and heavy, almost want to put the safety glasses on now, but not quite time. The hackers stole 15 million after degens piled into an unreleased Yearn finance project. So this is unaudited ETH contracts that it looked like they weren't even asking you to fire into yet, it appears. And still, the way that this stuff is going, it feels a little Ponzi-ish. And first ones in are getting paid. And people trying to be first one into the unaudited ETH contract. I mean, that's not my ball game, but and then it looks like 15 million was LOL. The way these things go down is often, it's not necessarily a hack so much as somebody did something that the ETH contract wasn't really, nobody intended it to do that when they made it, but based on solidity, based on the code that underwrites it, it did exactly what the code wanted it to do, said to do, and somebody creatively found a way to drain it from 15 million. The weird part of this story is that they sailed back 8 million of it to the devs, to the original address, to the deployment address, so that they could give back half, which is just real strange. I mean, Brett Ritchie, how do your ethics I mean, you steal 15 million, not steal, but you drain the contract. Code is law.
I mean, I would call it stealing personally. Like, I don't think it's okay, and likely, I think if they were caught by the government or somebody, they'd face charges depending on the jurisdiction. But also, whatever it is, very Wild West, and it shows the risks of piling into this contract. So Andre is the dev behind it, really kind of a rock star dev that people, because Yearn Finance did so well. There's so many people following him. They want to know what his next move is, and they want to be early, as you touched on. And so what happened is he tests in production. So he put out these new contracts, but he's like, hey, this is unaudited. But then he also teased some like marketing. Hey, what's coming is really cool. People just FOMO'd in. And then some guy came in.
We're going way overboard with crypto today, guys. We got to.
Enough
of the crypto.
The gentleman the options trader wants to reel it back into regular finance. Fair enough. Twilio. I don't even know how to say it.
Twilio.
The company that has all the text messages and you can interface and it'll send you the confirmation, the security code, the one-time code. All comes from Twilio.
American cloud platform company, $40 billion market cap. They do have $1 billion in revenue. So these guys are legit. They have Investor Day coming up Thursday. So I thought I'd mention that today, that we got maybe a potential trade here where looking up into Investor Day Thursday tomorrow, there should be some news about it. People getting excited. If the market's up a little bit, this thing could fly. So I'd watch out for this one. This may or may not be my pick of the day.
All right. We'll have to wait for that. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Brett Ritchie, ever used this Twilio thing?
I've never used it. I've heard of it. I mean, I barely know what it does. I know it's text messaging and phone APIs for web cloud type activity. And obviously, as Matt said, they have $1 billion in revenue. They're doing a lot right. Does that make it a $40 billion company? I don't know. Does it matter with Investor Day coming up? No. Makes sense to me. Matt's a smart guy. I'd listen to him.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, shout to my man Greggy B that works for them. It is time for one of the fast-paced, crazy, most watched section of Market Mania. It's time for the This Is Not Investment Advice pick of the day, sponsored by Blitz Pick. It's time to get right into it. Matt Glantz, we don't waste time here. What is your pick of the day?
It's Twilio, as you might guess, $249, Investor Day Thursday. So let's buy it today, probably run up until Investor Day, and then I'm going to try to sell it on Thursday.
He's going for the in and out, ladies and gentlemen. That's how he trades. Brett Ritchie, over to you. What's the pick of the day?
I'm buying Trump. I know it's an obvious trade. I just don't see Biden having a good debate tonight. I would be surprised if the market doesn't move in Trump's favor. I expect a disastrous performance from Joe Biden, and Trump's going to get a boost. I would hold it if you think he's going to win, or just take the quick trade.
All right. Matt Glantz doesn't agree, but that doesn't matter. That was Brett's pick of the day. And my pick of the day, which will be on the screen shortly here, is either Peloton short or Nikola short. It's unclear. But I will tell you this. Both companies seem ridiculously overvalued to me, honestly. Now, I hope everybody out there has enjoyed the show today. The world is obviously completely batshit crazy fucked up right now. I mean, just off the reservation. But I take solace in the words of Gift of Gab from the Supreme People track. Trapped like rats in mazes for the cheese, every natural resource is here. We don't really need money. Please like and subscribe the Market Mania channel on YouTube. Click the bell if you want to see when we start this show live every Monday through Friday. And we'll see you tomorrow, if there is a tomorrow. But for now, it's lights out.
I never sleep if I don't have my medicine. I never sleep if I don't have my medicine. I never sleep if I don't have. I never sleep. I never sleep if I don't have my medicine. Time to write the
wrong. So your hands in the air if you like the song. If you're going over there, take it twice as long. Last time ain't talking about Tylenol. Oh, I bet you'd like to know. You can come around the way if you're trying to go. If you want to switch lanes for a pot of gold, or a domino, out of control. The usual, get mad cause I'm looking at your girl. Switch it up. I do it so much louder than everything you've heard. Everybody heard at the word that the world wasn't turning. Act like you're in a jury of how we're turning, how we're turning. Can't lie like it's Mississippi burning. Don't act like you're in a daze. I imagine to look the other way. Couldn't clear space and my mind was afraid of the time. Strobe lights like in the moonlight. I'm in the mood right now, how about tonight? My